Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I'm completely back now. So the maintenance is over. I updated the game, so I can hopefully play it now. They're trying hard to not let me play the game. They're doing everything. They're doing everything to not let me play Limbus today. Okay. Back good now?
머저리들이 바삐 움직이는 걸 보니 단잠의 시간이고. 몰랐나? 토끼는 원래 야행성이다.
Okay. I need to do my daily extracts. Nothing. Something. Okay, nothing. Nothing. The usual. Actually, I've played for more than a month now. It's almost 2 months at this point.
따라갈 준비는 끝났습니다.
More than 1 month in a day. So it's like what? It's like April 10th, right? I think I started in February. So it's like months and a half, maybe? Something like that. We're almost done with the regular checkup. Finally, I have a chance for you to overcome adversity based what I have learned thus far. And for me to prove my hypothesis. What hypothesis are you talking about? No need to worry. My hypotheses have never been wrong. Most of the time. This experiment is entirely of my own design and supervision. And I will faithfully follow my own pure curiosities and instincts as a researcher. Guys, I have a feeling you're gonna like where this goes. Now, do you see this monolith here? If I do, it's a monolith, alright, but don't worry. My researchers will be the ones to activate the artifact. Activate the artifact? Not you. Relax. I understand that none of you would be willing to participate. None of you would be willing participants to this experiment. I swear, you're going to force us to distort saying that I have no right to refuse or something. I'm gonna... Hang on. I can't let you do that. Even as your assistant. But if you must, we're willing to send the biggest sinner among us for... Forget what I said. Forget I said that. It was foolish of me to say. I will be the subject of the experiment myself. You're going to store yourself? You're hearing you right. Aren't you curious to see what kind of distortion you would end up becoming? I'm sure this is a question you have all entertained at least once. Am I? His glasses are round though. Mine, not really. Nah. There is no resemblance here. No. I am curious. It ain't a very pleasant experience either. Stop gritting your teeth like that, assistant. It will have an adverse effect on your long-term dental health. It will have. Okay. We'll just end up turning into Picatulum. Could end up becoming a Picatulum. Just another one of the fodder we slaughtered our way through for the test earlier. You're risking that? It's indeed a possibility. Would signify nothing more my very own limitations. Just a mediocre shell. If such an incident comes to pass, these employees will transport me to a containment unit. He even made a bet on what kind of Picatulum I would turn into. He bet on Gila, I on Nvidia, and her on Pigritia. How could you? Think about it like this. If I were to become a Picatula, it would be akin to losing the game of chance. Of course, what counts as a loss may depend on what I, at the precise time, consider to be losing, but the mere fact of turning into a Picatulum relieves me of any value to life. I'd say he was being too hard on himself, but that felt like too simple an expression to describe his tone. The company would most likely attempt to transport me to a containment unit, but I disagree with that decision. I would like to ask you to dispose of me on the spot. I'm well aware that I'm not the kind of congenial person who earns others' favor first meeting. If at all, I also don't believe that our brief relationship has been the most amicable kind. Therefore, I see little reason why you would hesitate to cut me down. Of course, sinners with gentle hearts like this young Sinclair here may express certain distaste against this decision. But once I become a Picatulum, it might as well mean that Hohenheim, the entity, has ceased to be. So I hope no unnecessary emotions like guilt clouds your judgment on killing the Picatulum, a mere byproduct. But what if something unexpected happens? You're talking about your life here. Don't you have any manuals with backup plans or... This is a very simple matter. Nothing more than a coin flip. Heads or tails. It appears that you're still insisting on your absurd 50-50 theory. I'm a researcher who wishes to humiliate the field of mathematical statistics, unlike the general lay of the academia. I believe there is a certain romanticism to research. It is much more exciting to run as many tests and gain as many samples as we can than to be stuck behind a desk, poring day and night over books and paper. Isn't it? If it fails, anyone dispose of me immediately, and the employees here will take care of the rest. Don't forget to destroy the key inside that coat pocket, and the files inside my cabinets, for example. Yes, we remember. If I were to successfully distort, we would be halfway to success. For the first time, I'm feeling quite the envy for you all. I wish I could be a witness to my very own distortion. If you've been paying attention to my lectures, perhaps you could even come up with a classification code for my distortion too, going by the standards we have discussed earlier. Not that I have a very high expectation that you would. I've recently come to a realization that people nodding along to my words isn't a signifier of comprehension, but instead an expression of societal niceties. Nods. Then the manager here will open the entrance to my dungeon of the Fathoms, and he will progress through the mirror dungeon, as I have always done when facing distortion, to reach into its deepest fathoms to face my distortion once again. I wish you the best of luck in your suppression efforts. Extraction. Once you've made it that far, it's likely that you'll find me unconscious. What if luck would have it conscious? Unconscious? Are you sure this is safe? A degree of case-by-case variance is to be expected. It may take some time for a full recovery. What will happen should you succeed? It reminds me, it's how this bamboo-headed Kim was brought back as well. Bamboo-headed Kim? Is recovered? Is safely contained within our facilities. It seems that they're ready to activate the monolith. I'm confident that I, even with distortion, will be quite the exceptional specimen. Hang on, just like that? You're not a big item. Indeed, and I can still hear them. So remember, I still do. I know he'll be back. Gosh, this is pretty unnerving. Don't worry, we'll bring him back no matter what. The manager says we'll bring him back no matter what. You sound like a dependable sort, this manager of yours. Very well. Let's take a look at this. Is this a note? Did you write us tips on how to do this or something? It says that you have to do is read what's on the note in front of his distortion. Apparently it's some kind of a code. I don't think you'll hear anything but taking noises from me. Can you read this, Marcel? It will be done as you commanded. Marcel nodded, then began to read the words from the note aloud. Atomic corporation. 5 minutes. Potentiality. Anticipation. Right hand. The moment Marcel uttered them, the auto-familiar portal began to appear around Hohenheim's distortion, as though they were a key to a door. Scattering shards of familiar yet alien sights appeared intermittently beyond the shimmering veil. Hohenheim had already entered the portal as we stood there gawking. We could still hear his voice echoing through the laboratory. I suppose I'll be first to share my past here. The past I never wanted to share. The past no one cares to learn about. It's something I must endure for the sake of this experiment. However, I didn't expose every little detail of it. It's all in the past now anyway, isn't it? Well, he did become a distortion. I guess good for him. So it allows us to select like an Ega gift. Well, I don't have Burn, I don't have Rupture either. Should go like with keywordless one. Take the cleaning solution spray. Okay, this is good. 2 damage up for roll ice.
라만 차렌들을 뒤엎는다.
What's going on with them? Good. It appears that I can censor these with my own will, at least to a degree. Our mission here is to classify my distortion, reach the end of this dungeon of the Phantoms, and bring me back. Your mission, however, does not involve digging into my past. It appears that we have passing familiarity with this place. You, us. What is it they seek to convey? I don't believe any level of proper communication will be feasible, given that you are in a dungeon of the Phantoms. Well then, do something about it. I were to tell you that the setting of this dungeon is out of my hands. Had it been up to me, I would have manifested a place that was much more fascinating than this, like that library fabled to have every book in existence. Used to work for the Lobotomy Corporation. One of my past careers, yes. Diplomacy didn't seem to be an option here. Censored people brandished their weapons threateningly and stood in our path. Looks like we're going to have to take them down if we want to make any progress here. Can be helped. Get ready for a fight. Okay. Did we just see some kind of like... It was a girl, right? Girls with like tails? The Border Corp L3 agent. It's okay. I can finally do some win rating. Nice. I should have actually like used the damage, not the win rate. I don't think it's gonna matter that much though, but still. His meat lantern. That doesn't tell me anything, to be honest. They were in like the Lobotomy Corp farm, no? Why do we have like two choices here? Does it even matter, like what we're going to do? Came across a group of researchers, passionately poring over various documents. They're having a debate about the subjects, emotions, and flame. Regular flames don't seem to hurt the abnormalities very much. So why does this work, I wonder? Perhaps a greater degree of wrathful emotions opens up the room for the fire's heat to touch. Abnormalities and distortions, bold entities of the unknown. They must have noticed us listening in their conversation. Intently one of them approached us, with a glint in their eyes. Are you the sample who's agreed to the experiment? If so, try this on. In the researcher's hands was what looked like an ignition plug, or a testing machine of sorts. You have the wrong person. I don't need the burn egg gift. You're not the sample? Then what the hell are you doing here? Get out now! We were kicked out. Nothing happened. Okay. Sure. That sounds alright to me. So how do we know this guy is actually distorted? Doesn't sound any different from his usual self. Sanity degradation due to distortion affects every subject differently. I mean, yeah, but censoring his own phantoms? Hockenheim, you're in the dungeon of the phantoms. We will see through it with Dante powers, whether you want to show us or not. We make a fair assessment. How about this then? If you are to see them anyway, allow me to save you the trouble and give you a quick rundown instead. Come visit me as soon as you finish watching my tale. This tale began when that man walked into my laboratory. Yes, I had a personal laboratory all to myself, one of the few perks of being an elite researcher. This guy's telling this story where he wants to, isn't he? Mr. Hohenheim? Let me think. I don't quite remember what he looked like. Something like this, perhaps? I'm sure it's the case. I was planning to censor his appearance anyway. I want to talk to you about something. Stop. Are you here to express your displeasure with me? Then what now? If you are, don't let me know from the get-go. I had a feeling it was about time this would happen. 3 months, not a bad record for working without a workplace conflict. If this is about quitting, then you would find a much better audience among the human resource team. No, I mean, I'm just here to thank you for picking me, some dude from the backstreets, to work here. Heard it was you who made the hiring decision. I don't know how to put this, but you're the only one who saw my... what's the word? Yeah, I mean, potentiality. So something that no one cared to look into before. Know what I mean? But it had nothing to do with something so grandiose like his potentiality. A wing doesn't hire people from the backstreets for something so insignificant. While this information has never been publicly available, the Bottomic Corporation primary criterion was trauma. Candidates with horrible, insurmountable trauma were often favored by the company. In an indirect way, it was only natural that they would begin to favor candidates who originate from the backstreets. Your greetings are acknowledged, Jimmy. Now, feel free to leave my office. I ain't Jimmy. Anyways, I've been meaning to ask, Mr. Hohenheim, why do you always enjoy being alone? It may come as a surprise to you, but I am very adept at spending my time all on my own. It is one of the hundreds of distinguishing features that set me apart from ordinary men. So intention is someone to be like your loyal right-hand man? My right hand is doing just fine. Thank you very much. Do you believe in potentialities, Hohenheim? What an unrelentingly stubborn employee he was, even in hindsight. Thanks to you, I do. And I've been thinking, if I keep at it, one day I might even find myself living in a large nest. Change my world little by little. Kinda like how Thing, like me, managed to snag a position here at Lobotomy Corporation. So I'm thinking here, they wanna stick around in your circle. To bring about such drastic changes to one's life isn't the realm of feasibility for an exceptional researcher like myself, indeed. But you are, like most of the rabble, painfully average at most qualities and therefore unlikely to be moving first in that change. I have no faith in universal things like potentialities. I have faith in myself alone. Besides, I'm not very partial to mathematical statistics like the probability theory anyway. So I would like to keep both my right and left hands as my own. Have a nice day. Wanna know something about me? I'm the kind of guy who doesn't really think about things. Action before deliberation. You get me? Thoughtless and carefree. Possibly the only merit to be found in those who originate from the backstreets. Or that is tiny veiled threat of physical assault. No, I'm talking about the new Abner that just got shipped here. It's a tricky one to manage, I'll tell you what. Use your mind, screwing up all kinds of strategies or whatever, as long as it's based on hard logic. Wanna shoot for the Department of the Air Award together? You seem to be rather skilled in the art of transactions. One of the few merits found in those who originate from the backstreets. I will admit, I suppose I was overcome by a certain ennui back then, and in hindsight it was foolish of me to engage in such inane conversations. As the remnants of my past come to haunt us, perhaps it is I whom they truly wish to hurt. So even Hohenheim has like a sad story. Who would have thought? I like the dungeon is the easiest thing here. I guess because like you have all the sinners with you. You think Hohenheim has top 3 Limbus characters? Okay, I mean top 1 is Rush, right? And well, I didn't think anymore, to be honest. When we will have like Ryoshi Company? It's finally here. The Department of the Air Award. Indeed. I've finally done it. With some minor assistance from you, of course. And some other employees. Come on, admit it. Don't you notice that a lot more employees are saying hello, good morning, and what have you to you in the hallways compared to when your reputation was a bit, you know. It's all because I'm just that good of a right-hand man. I will admit that your intuitive and spontaneous eye was of some assistance when it came to identifying certain observation among abnormalities. This is the potentiality I was talking about, man. Same thing you saw in me when you decided to get me on board. Apologies for ruining the moment, but... Next few years quickly and busily flew by without much trouble. Of course, we picked up ourselves a few more Department of the Air awards, some promotions, and some collaborative researches. Yet all things must come to an end. The infamous fall of the Bottomy Corporation for once. For one. So I don't suppose you have any trouble hazarding what they're all telling me, even if the words come out fragmented. I have no idea what are they telling, okay? You left us. I mean, this one is understandable. Nothing but words of endless resentment. You left us behind. The fall of the former Air Corp. I remember what Miss Yuri told us. The site crumbled in an instant, trapping the employees in there with the abnormalities. What does this sound? The whole structure is quaking. Hell is instantiation site burial in 100 seconds, and your remaining employees must immediately evacuate the structure. Counting down, 95, 94. Escape pods up to the surface are here, but there is only one seat left. They're saying that the next one's in 5 minutes. Listen closely. risk of sounding rather callous, I must inform that the chance of survival in cases of crises such as this is usually granted only to a very small minority of those affected. Some prioritize the fairness of the process by settle on primitive methods such as throwing lots to see who gets to escape. And in more barbaric groups, survival will be decided by none other than the rule of might. However, I'm glad to find myself among those who are on the side of intelligence. So I make this argument suggestion before you. Compare yourselves, who so find our purpose in life as clinging to your mediocre office jobs and making good on your debt payments, and me, produce several groundbreaking theses and research results at such an early age, whose life in your eyes is of greater worth. Yes, and that is how this tale ends. The compound collapsed 90 seconds later. I left the employees of my department behind and boarded the escape pod elevator and survived. How could you? Without even a hint of remorse. Wrath is a hideous emotion. I'm here today only because I have always maintained a cold, rational head. The alcove branch with Hockenheim's dungeon of the Phantoms begins to crumble. It almost appeared as though his heart was crumbling as well. Well, now that's over with. I invite you to come face me, the distortion, and the experiment will come to an end. Just fighting and defeating his distortion in a fight. I don't think that'll bring him back. I just know. I agree. We're still in deep waters here. This can't possibly be all there is to it. See the lantern within the containment unit. A cyan hued canary flutters towards the wiry ancient branches of the tree and softly lands on one of them. The branch sitting in the fairy's ways, as though to entice us to get closer to them. Bright, countless yellow eyes glimmer from the shadows beneath its roots. What a beautiful specimen, this lantern. Have you finished your observations? Began learning a lot about the abnormality recently. There is still a lot of unknowns, but still. Speaking of which, here's a pop quiz. What real gift can you get from the lantern? I mean, the Winter Nightmare sounds better, so I'll go with this one. Right on the money. You know you for the lantern. But that's not all. Recently it's been giving out these things too. Take this with you. I'm glad to have you run into a kinder soul. Receive a bony tweak. Seems to have come directly from the lantern itself. Okay, got some tweaks. I don't know if it's good or not. It's something. Yeah, I shouldn't have done the damage here. Yeah, they're just too squishy. Min raid would have been better. Okay, left was the 1 HP though. Okay, now we're done. I should have done this from the start.
떨거지면 잘라낸다.
Crazy, I spent 3 turns on what could be in just one.
좋겠어. 4번 수감자.
Okay, I'm going here. I'm going here. Wait, or... Which one is better? I think this one is... This one looks scarier. So we're not going here. I mean there. We're going here.
기다려라, 거태. 곧 먹이를 먹여주지.
What was that?
단순해서 조건 9번 수감자. 물론 좋은 성과를 갖고 돌아올
Okay, not much damage.
잡자는 걸 준비해두지.
I mean, sometimes I wonder why there is like no like speeding up of the animations.
제가 괜히 먹을 것들을 사들고 있는 것이 아닙니다. 그래, 그렇게 시원하게 처리하고 보는 맛이 일 처리는 빠르게 하는 편이 덜 답답한 법이지.
It wasn't a stagger, unfortunately.
먹기 좋게 찾아졌지 않아.
전투 감각 하나만
대가리 딱 깨고
수감자가 되어도 훌륭하긴 하군. 이제 그 도통 알아들을 수 없는
뭐가 내
말투만
죄는
그간의
내가
전투
알아서
Okay, want to go?
쓸모가 없진 않았군요. 적합한 조치였습니다.
실밥이 터졌나?
귀찮은
I'm right out
보이가
here.
질러진 모양이죠, 관리자. 우선 순위를 잘 분별해서 잘라냈길.
Several messy, frantic letters are carved into the wall with knives. I can practically feel the sheer horror and desperation of their writers from the wild letters. Upon close inspection, the deep marks tell a tale risen in terror. They're swarming us, the monsters. I hear them, they're breathing. They're going to kill us all. Save me, please, someone. Anyone, save me. I don't want to die, please. Fear is what drives men to madness. The monsters are near. I can feel the rumble of their feet. They're coming. There are unfinished sentences written on the wall. Death. Carved deep marks between them. Okay, I want a nigga gift. Look around some more. Noticing something, Rasher points to an area on the wall. There is a small crack between the countless scribbles of letters. I carefully reach my hand into the opening and... I can feel the tip of my fingers brushing against the card. Someone must have hidden it here, there. This might come in handy later. Operation authorization
내
card.
책을 갖고 들여다볼
Okay, let's see what it actually does.
예술이 있다.
During the encounter when an ally retreats or is defeated... Oh, I see, so it's useless.
몸 좀 풀어볼까요?
It's pretty much useless. We arrived at the entrance to Hockenheim's laboratory. This may be final order to you. Either suppress me and return safe and sound to where we came from, or fail the suppression. Place me in a containment unit. Perhaps we can observe what happens next. It's when Heathcliff suddenly strode forward. Wilhelm, do you still believe in that potentiality? I do. That's what keeps me going. You only hire researchers from the backstreets, don't you? I heard from him earlier. Then told me you're writing pompous blog, but thanks to you, they can continue to research and believe that there might be things in the world that's worth working toward.
위에서 당신을
Do we even
관리자로
write this?
상담은
당한
나중으로
이유가 있겠지.
지금은
이 눈들을
기대하고
너무 오래 보고
있겠습니다.
있지 마라.
단테.
홀려버려도 구해주지 않을 테니. 이 눈들을 너무 오래 보고 있지 마라. 홀려버려도 구해주지 않을 테니.
None of the students use the base attack skill against enemy, get additional attack research for random. I mean, this sounds good. Okay, what else? I think this is good also. Others are kind of shit, I think. As far as I remember.
점 찍었네.
I mean, just look at her go.
추악한 모든 시선을 이끌리지.
이상이 무엇이라 생각하시오?
Did you use like 2 egos? I think we can use like the 3rd ego of Russia, maybe also. I don't think I can like use any others to get any benefit, to be honest. I also have the like the Gregor ego, but I didn't have Tide, unfortunately.
기대하고 있겠습니다. 단테.
가족을 위해. 기다려.
Yeah, I think this should be easy, to be honest. I mean, like the time when the dungeon boss is like way easier than the challenges that you had to do before.
위에서 당신을 관리자로 정한 데
Sure.
당한 이유가 있겠지. 기대하고 있겠습니다. 단테.
Okay, so I can do something like that. Oh, this should be good.
위에서 당신을 관리자로 정한 데
Okay, I need to clash it.
이유가 있겠지.
I need to clash it.
점 찍었네.
I can use like I guess the basic of Manager Dawn.
합격장.
직접 싸워보지 않아서 그게 효과적일 것이라고 생각했나.
저 로신한테 꿈에 닿을 때까지
관리자의
몇 번이고!
전투 교육도 위에 제시해야 할 수 있겠어.
I should also probably use Mirka Allowance to get all the nice stuff from it.
엎쳐!
Plays your mind, Manager. His suppression efforts seem to be smooth sailing. It is exactly as you have seen, Manager, save for a few parts that were censored. I concealed nothing from your view. I don't believe I have committed any wrong by escaping that place alone, leaving the others to be buried here. Of course, it may be reprehensible from a moral standpoint, but why would anyone ever look at it from that perspective, Manager? Especially when you're well aware that, in the city, such a perspective is entirely irrelevant and worthless. I can feel his gaze on me. Like he said, the suppression is going well, but this feels wrong, that it shouldn't end like this. What should I tell him? What if Hackenheim trying to hide from us? If I was to relate my words to Hockenheim, I see how you may have arrived at that conclusion. But you are incorrect. I have already done much contemplation regarding that matter. I have definitely concluded a long time ago that I have indeed done no wrong. Let me say this in advance. I am a rare breed of researcher who detests this study of probabilities and statistics. At Hockenheim, I am not the kind to make irrational suggestions, just drawing lots to see who gets to survive. I'm the kind to partake in barbaric contests of strength to survive either. Indeed, there was no other resource. My only option was to come up with an argument that was ultimately vain, before the urge to survive. Arguing for my survival on the grounds that I was the most useful one of us all. However, they made a rather objective decision for me. They overcame their base desires for mere survival and made a forward-thinking decision for the future. So no, I have no reason to believe what I did was wrong. It shouldn't be wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. This wasn't a scene. Even as Hockenheim defended himself, it seemed as though some sense of responsibility was pulling him down. Especially those last words. I could barely sense his usual air of confidence.
이 기회에 평소 지휘 실력을
Okay, so
하던 대로 해보십시오.
we can continue now. So yeah, what about her other egos? I have this one, I have this one. I can do this one, maybe, why not? Okay, I kind of sad. Which is kinda bad, where this is going. Okay, I think I'm kinda forced to like clash here because, well, because I don't want to lose much damage. I can use like his ego again, maybe. But maybe not. Let's do it like this.
죄인인가?
아류산 초평열 80 갈라지도록.
I mean, I'm still dealing like good amount of damage, but the boys is kind of annoying because he can crit me. I don't know. No risk like dying here. I'm gonna play it safe. And the shield, I mean, who cares?
안내야의 고통.
I don't think the shield like really matters here. To be completely honest.
같이 상황을 개선해 보시지.
떨궈주면 잘라낸다. 기도해라.
I'm still doing like pretty good damage here. That was kind of cringe from the princess. Why would she lose the clash?
꽤 뚫려라.
합격장.
Okay, nice.
이 기회에 평생 지휘
I can use Merkava now.
하던 대로 해보십시오.
The manager is full sanity, which is pretty much what I need.
죄인인가?
I need like S3 on Russia. Like actually do some damage here. I mean also like yeah, I forgot about the Merkava.
저 하염없이 뭐
But I need her S3.
그렇게 황홀히 피어나.
Also one of the passive.
피어나라.
We are ego maxing today.
위에서 당신을 관리자로 정한
승리를
데에는
이끌
합당한 이유가 있겠지.
I think like I
있겠어.
got like all the
한테
fun egos already. Pretty much nothing to do really. Actually forgot like
단연급의
what
끈 떨어졌나?
this secret is. I always forget the passive. Okay, this sounds good actually. Maybe we should actually use it here.
죄인인가?
아류산 초평열 60 뜯겨라.
I should have used it sooner.
모든 걸 거둬들일 순 없었어.
The damage up, I mean free damage up. Who doesn't like it? Is it a stagger? No.
위에서 당신을
This is
관리자로
close
정한
though.
데에는 합당한 이유가 있겠지.
Like really close.
있겠습니다. 단테.
죄인인가?
따뜻한
Oh, this is over.
밥이 터졌나?
I staggered him.
지금이다. 해골바가지 거미 대가리. 자!
그간의 전투 경험이 썩어지만
널가져 잘라내리자.
적합한 조치였습니다.
갈라지도록. 기원을 갖추는
Yeah, this is it.
그대로 무너져라.
This was easy. I could have done it faster, maybe. I mean, definitely. I was playing it safe. Escape pods, the surface are here. There is only one seat left. They're saying that the next one is in 5 minutes. Look, I don't actually believe you hired me because you saw my potential or something like that. But I want to believe that you found the hope and potentialities because of me. A hope and anticipation that we can make things better as long as we keep at it. Can't leave you all behind. Just save my skin not without everyone. This is what a right-hand man does, isn't it? Take my potentiality you found and rise. Take it with you to the surface. But you, Johan. Johan. I think it's Johan, right? You read this, Johan? But you, Johan. What about you? Well, maybe next time. Some other time. Wrath. It's a hideous emotion. It is why I did nothing. The entrance of the branch. Only remembering. Nothing more. Remembering the ones I've left behind. I can see the dungeons of the phantoms slowly beginning to close. Sometime later. I returned, safe and sound. Welcome back, boss. To be frank, I once wished to be someone like yourself, Heathcliff. What are you talking about? I don't want Heathcliff to be like Heathcliff. It wasn't easy to put my faith, not in games or numbers, but in those slimest potentialities of the world that continue to exist. Now it's not very befitting of a researcher to be so, but it's quite a romantic attitude for a human to embody, is it not? Well, the experiment is over. It was a huge success. Oh, thanks to us, right? No, it was a failure. We established this hypothesis that the sole answer was to hold a firm belief in the self and nothing else. My hypothesis being correct, I would have remained a distortion. Thus, I would like to extend my gratitude to all of you. Thank you for making me fail. It seemed that classification of my distortion was HE5SU. Disappointingly mediocre, but I don't suppose it can be helped. The world is a place where I must find the rate of potentiality among the mediocre, after all. Let's move on now. Mistopheles is prepared to depart. When Heim's researchers waved at us, well, we'll meet again, right? Oh no, thank you. Everything has an end, so do consider this to be our final meeting. Down to the last exchange. This guy. Last thing we saw before the portal activated were the LCB researchers pushing their glasses in our general direction. Though we'd only taken a step or two, the entire world around us seemed to transform, landing us back inside the transportation instrument. Now that I think about it, I didn't even get to learn why Gregor's bones made those cracking noises. All I learned from this experience is that the sinners have all become mediocre, but they each held certain potentialities within themselves. Each of us mulling over the events at the OCE. We returned to the bus where Karen and Virgilius were waiting for us.
착각하지 마. 해파 거태. 내 놈들 덕분에 내가 강해진
Okay.
거야. 내가 강하기에 내 놈들을 휘두르는 거지.
We're finally at the event. Finally! I have 6 days to do this. 6 days. No, I'm going to sleep. I'm sleeping now, okay. I don't know, like... I mean, the Hohenheim story, it was kinda... I don't know. I didn't like it, to be honest.
머저리들이
Also, like, it was pretty standard and... I mean, there is no, like, wow effect. It's like the basic story of, you know, believing in other people and whatnot. I did enjoy, like, the challenge battles, though. Those were fun. But the story of, like, the LCB Cup... I mean, probably, but... I mean, we didn't learn anything about him. And, like, his kind of story is kind of... I mean, it's hard for me to put it, but... What's the word for it? I need to search it up. It's cliche, you know? That's the word for it. I mean, Kanto 6 is still peak storytelling. That's like the first place. And I don't know. Kanto 4 is like my second place. I think like Murder at the Warp Express is like better than LCB Cup. Well, I'm going to sleep now, so thank you everyone for tuning in. And hopefully we can actually finish the event this week. And I'll see you again next time.